Good afternoon, everybody. Uneducated Economist here. So we got the Federal Reserve statement talking about the future of monetary policy and what could be in store for our inflation expectations and what we would expect the Federal Reserve to do about it. Now, it is not too far off from what we thought it was going to be, or at least, what I was saying it was going to be, where they are going to abandon the 2% inflation target and go for a 2% an average inflation target. So instead of saying, hey, we're going to shoot for 2%, once we get to 2%, we're there, and let bygones be bygones, because that's the way they used to look at it. Now they're going to look at things as we need to achieve an average inflation. So if we run below inflation for a number of years, then we're going to have to run above the inflation target for a number of years so that we can get to that average inflation of 2%. And, he talked about a few other things about like unemployment, like typically when you have very low unemployment numbers, like we were experiencing the lowest unemployment numbers in 50 years or whatever, that starts to signal to the Fed that inflation could be ramping up. And this is where they typically would start raising interest rates. But we really didn't see that taking place. We had the best jobs numbers in 50, 60 years, whatever it was. And at the same time, inflation was low, was running under that target of 2%. So I got to thinking, I was like, okay, so let's talk about this a little bit. Let's, kind of come up with an idea of how the Fed came up with this 2% inflation target. And I got to thinking about this for a little bit, and I said, I think I already did this video. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was sometime close to a year ago that I was talking about this exact thing. And so I went back and I looked, and sure enough, I found, I think the title of it is Inflation is Coming, but I'll leave a link down in the description for you guys. And it is an excellent video, now that I go back and look at it, talking about this exact thing, talking about, the average inflation targeting and the reasonings for them doing it. And I would love for you guys to go and check out that video and then come back here to this video and we'll do the comments and talk about it, because I got some mail. I want to open up some mail for you guys. I got a couple of pieces here. But it was very interesting, and I think probably the biggest thing that I took from going back and listening to that particular video that I had put out was that there was a moment there where what's her name? Miss George, Esther George. I can't. Anyway, Esther George. She was saying that something about a significant stimulus or a significant increase in monetary policy, and at the time I thought it was the undoing of the unwinding. Does that make sense? So there was a moment there a while back where the Federal Reserve was starting the unwinding process of all the quantitative easing, where they basically were allowing their balance sheet to shrink. And so if you're not familiar with the Fed's balance sheet, basically they buy a bunch of treasuries and mortgage-backed securities. They put those on their balance sheet, and then that's their assets. And the liabilities they issue out are all the dollars that we use. And so their balance sheet had swelled to like $4.5 trillion during the financial crisis, quantitative easing programs to fix it. And there was I forget what was, about a year and a half, I guess, maybe a little longer, where they were doing quantitative tightening instead of easing, where they were actually shrinking the balance sheet a little ways. And it didn't last very long, and they had to immediately reverse course, and it didn't take them very long, and they had their balance sheet right back up to where it was. And I thought, and at the time when Miss George was talking about that, I thought she was talking about the significant increase in the monetary policy. I didn't realize that she was talking about the COVID event. We didn't have the whole COVID scare back then. We didn't even know that there was going to be a lockdown or nothing taking place back at that time. But yet they knew back then that the next downturn was going to take a significant increase in monetary policy. And boy, did we see it. I mean, it almost doubled the Fed's balance sheet. I shouldn't say it almost doubled it. That's disingenuous. It was what was it, an increase? Almost $3 trillion from the little over $4 trillion that it was. So yeah, go back, check out that video. Let me know what you guys think of that. I thought it was an excellent video, especially when I went back and reviewed it today. I was like, man, that was really on point, that video. So anyway, let me know what you guys think of that, and let's do the mail call. I got 2 packages. Check out this one. It's kind of heavy. It's big, and there's like, I don't know. It feels there's stuff inside. It's weird. Like anyway, and then I'm gonna open up this one first because it feels like it's a book. Looks like it might be from Amazon too. So we're going to start with this one. Let me see what book this is. A lot of receipts in here. Okay. Micro Democracy. Aaron Rand. The Democracy Revolution of the Information Era. Awesome. Copyrighted 2020. Very neat. Awesome. I really need to get into reading. I don't know, for those of you, a lot of you already know this, but for those of you kind of new to my channel or didn't realize it, I have a horrible reading comprehension problem. Like, I get about 10 minutes into reading and then my mind just immediately just starts wandering. And although I'm still reading, I've got the words going in, and when I go back and reread the stuff that I have like kind of space cadeted on, I realize that I have read it, it just wasn't sinking in. And so I had like this reading like comprehension where I get about 10 minutes and then that's all I got. So reading books has been very difficult my entire life. But this looks like it's probably pretty easy reading, and I bet you I'll probably fall right into this something like this. So thank you very much, whoever it was that sent me this book. Appreciate it. Let's see what we got here. This is like really intriguing in this package here. I'm really... Is it a fishing pole? Right on, man. That's what I really need to do, is go fishing. Go relax and go fishing. Man, this is badass. Let's see this. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. It's a fishing pole. Right on. Very cool. It looks like it's this nice little travel kit. That's perfect. Perfect for just having on hand in the car for any time you just want to stop by the creeks. Let's take a look at this thing here. Oh, very cool. Oops. Some foam keep. Very, very cool. Right on. Man, you guys are so awesome. Really appreciate it, man. Uneducated Economist. You guys let me know.